One strange alien planet, a whole ecosystem of terrifying Leviathans, and plenty of beautiful biomes to explore, we crash landed twice on planet 4546b. First by accident, where we tried to survive and uncover the mysteries of a foreign bacteria, and secondly, on purpose, where we tried to unwind a series of clues about our sister's disappearance. In this movie, we 100%ed both Subnautica and Subnautica Below Zero multiplayer, aiming to grab the combined 30 achievements whilst also trying to hatch every egg and build 2 incredible sea bases along the way. But before all that, let's head back to the beginning of the story. The journey began when our ship crash landed into the ocean of an unknown planet. Don't ask why 5 men are packed into one life pod, the lore just makes sense. Budget cuts maybe. The self-appointed Captain Column stepped out for his first look of the alien planet. Then with no other option as food and drink stores were beginning to run low, we had to jump in, coincidentally getting our first achievement of the day, getting your feet wet. With nothing else to do but begin gathering resources around the shallow waters, we started collecting, enjoying the seamless and bug-free mod along the way. We began to craft our basic items, including some food, our scanner, and oxygen tanks, in which native scanner addict Jacob began scanning anything he could get his hands on, but like an absolute idiot, the first death occurred. Kieran swam too far into a cave and didn't find his way out, causing him to drown. A silly mistake indeed. The reality of being abandoned on a desolate planet began to set in for our team leader on night 1.
Beep bop boop boop. Beep bop boop boop.
However, with the sunrise on day 2, we ventured into the neighbouring kelp forest biome. Quick note, Column is red-green colorblind. Not ideal, and even less ideal is what happened to him next. But we ploughed on, unlocking the mobile vehicle bay blueprint very quickly, returning to the life pod in between trips to craft more basic items such as the repair tool, the survival knife, and fins. Repair tool in hand, Column set about fixing the life pod, restoring the lights and power to the radio, where we received our first message.
This is Aurora. Distress signal received. Rescue operation will be dispatched to your location in 9 hours.
Surprisingly, 5 players collecting and scanning around for 30 minutes in the ocean at this point. We had no sea glide fragments to our name, so early on we set about finding them. However, Joe was very quick to lure Column into the first trap of the video.
Hey Joe.
Where are you, Column? Oh, you're there. Come this way. Column? You appear to be going in the wrong direction.
I don't know if I trust you, Joe.
He's got more
You
balls
appear to be going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, because he doesn't know what the fuck is there.
It's very deep ocean. I'm getting scared. I don't like it. I'm coming back.
With Colin now educated about the fact that the big ship equals dangerous, we found the beacon blueprint, the grav trap blueprint, and finally found the sea glide fragments.
Hopped off.
Yes, Colin!
Did it!
Everybody's being proud.
We were busy crafting our sea glides when the radio sparked to life again.
This is Lifepod 3, uploading our coordinates. We're plugging some holes in our emergency sea glide, so if we're late for the rendezvous, don't panic. Also, don't go home without us. Seriously. 3 out.
Shortly after this, we took off to investigate the potential of other life out there besides us, but they were dead. Cool PDA though. We somehow got a multi-purpose room fragment from here, God knows how. Whilst out, we pressed forth, further to a grassy plateau, or the red one as we call it, although we may have took a wrong turn.
Stay close.
He's gonna protect it.
There's a bone shark.
Wait, this...
Yeah, this isn't red.
Well, I told you I can't see, Ray.
Once we found it, it was blueprint season. Finding all 3 Seamoth fragments, unlocking the blueprint, alongside all scanner room fragments, and the last bioreactor fragment. Whilst here, we discovered a large piece of wreckage that had landed in this biome. granting us both fragments of the battery charger, alongside half of the propulsion cannon fragments and both laser cutter fragments, and even further, a Cyclops bridge fragment. Overall, a very productive day. On his swim back, Joe found this moonpool fragment. We returned home, arming ourselves up with rebreathers, better O2 tanks, and even crafting the mobile vehicle bay. But once again, the radio came to life and delivered another message.
Pre-recorded distress call.
This is Officer Keenan, Lifepod 19.
The
The captain is gone. I have assumed command.
He's assumed
The last
command.
thing the captain did was give me coordinates for dry land. We regroup 1.5 kilometers southwest of the crash site. Stay together and good luck.
With coordinates for potential dry land acquired, we ignored them for now, in pursuit of a much better time sink, to Seamoth. Now take this as a foreshadowing, but you'd think having 5 high-powered vehicles would improve the efficiency, but this proved to be one of the funniest, but also detrimental parts of the game. Around this time, I stumbled upon a time capsule with an endearing message of hope for the group. Hi, it's me, former president of Nintendo of America, Reggie Filame. Here to tell you about our new game Subnautica Below Zero on the Nintendo Switch. Now if you'll excuse me, I need to go play Animal Crossing on my Nintendo 3DS.
What the fuck?
With the woman on the PDA later telling us that the Aurora's drive core was imminent to explode, we remained close to the life pod, gathering resources for said Seamoths and pointing out funny bugs that came with the mod we were using.
Why are you in the floor?
Why are you floating?
You are in the floor. You're floating, he's in the floor.
No, he's floating.
One of you's really small, one of you's like half height, and then the other. No, you're not even small. But with the day fading slowly, again our radio sparked into life. But this time came hope of rescue.
Aurora, I'm out on the far side of the system. It's gonna take more than a week to reach your position. Do you still need our assistance? Over.
Shortly following this message, it was Jacob, shortly followed by Joe, to get their Seamoths, which granted us the second achievement, personal propulsion. Then shortly following this absolutely fucking disaster,
Welcome aboard, cat.
Bumper cars.
Yeah,
Rabbit.
Did they just break?
did you just crash into Seamoth and blow it up?
Only mine broke.
A little hiccup, but a little later he had a new one, alongside Kieran, then Colum, and then finally myself. And the fleet of Seamoths were ready for adventure. During this, the Sunbeam messaged again, alongside a message from Lifepod 19, giving us their coordinates for rescue, and it was time to head out. But suddenly, it happened. With the newly acquired radiation suit blueprint 2, Captain Colum had had enough. After a little messing around in the Seamoths of course, we took off to Lifepod 19 on our first dangerous voyage. With danger comes reward though, and we stumbled upon an Aurora wreckage, leaving the safety of the Seamoth due to the depth limit. Finding the vehicle upgrade console, the command chair desk and other crucial blueprints. We also found a warper, who was just stuck for some reason, so we left it alone, continuing to descend down, finding rubies, diamonds, some gel sacks, and eventually we found Lifepod 19, which contained another PDA. However, somehow, during this whole thing, Jacob's Seamoth bugged, causing it to just vanish. So he stole Joe's, leaving Joe to swim back as we returned to our life pod. Upon returning, we had a radio message awaiting us, which upon listening gave us the approximate location of life pod 6. We spent a lot of the time figuring out whose Seamoth had vanished until the culprit just came forward.
Column's in mine, because I colored mine with red.
Yeah,
I
you're...
also coloured mine red.
Pretty
Column,
sure it's my one.
it's client side.
Jacob's in mine.
We spent the next hour continuing the craft, whatever items were missing. For example, rebreathers and habitat builders. While this was going on, Kieran and I took off to the grassy plateau biome, deciding that this is where we would construct our home on this alien planet. With the central map location, it will allow us to build a large base and have access to the whole map fairly quickly. Finding a habitat builder in his time capsule, Kieran set about building the first foundations to the one-day mega base, granting the team the third achievement, settling in for the long haul. Back at the Lifepod, the radio kicked into life again, and Colum answered to another message from the Sunbeam. It told us it was all our fault basically.
Aurora, do you read? Over. Nothing but vacuum. These Altera ships. They run low on engine grease, send an SOS, you offer to help, they don't pick up.
And then the PDA Siri also told him to perform a self-scan, and when he performed it, it revealed that everyone was infected with a foreign bacteria. Not good at all. Remember the comment earlier about the Seamoth being a hindrance? Well, during construction and moving to our new base, Kieran's Seamoth beacon teleported from the base to the Lifepod, and when he tracked it down and got in it, the game, which already is terrifying, got even worse.
Okay. That's fucking terrifying.
A new rule was established. Of course, don't trust the beacon if it moves somewhere else. With the starter base constructed, Colum led the troops over to that earlier coordinate set where dry land was located. Yes, for the third time, we lost the Seamoth. We need a counter or something.
What just killed me?
You're dead.
What? Who just TP'd?
Someone just slammed into my fucking Seamoth. My Seamoth is dead!
Yeah, it's gone.
With around a week until the Sunbeam would arrive, we set our eyes on landmass. Held up by these giant floaters, we got out of the safety of our Seamoths and did what most people would, pillaged the fuck out of this place. We found blueprints,
Stop getting in my fucking way for the scans, blood clot.
farm items,
Oh, Chinese potato.
Any more damage. I am
What are the Chinese doing?
and PDAs. Learning about the Degassi crew, 3 survivors who washed up on this island but left in search of deeper waters, and answers about this strange planet. This got us the achievement, Seaside Living with an Ocean View. With all that we could steal, the team returned to the Seamoths, with radio messages to listen to, and more questions than answers. We start off on a brand new day with the sun rising, but first, not without seeing who could fling their Seamoth the highest in the air.
I'll judge it. Go on then, I've got you ready. Oh my god. The other
Okay, that was quite high.
I've got my crosshair where you got to. Here he comes. Oh, he got higher. He did get higher.
Did he?
There. Yeah,
No, I
did.
think that's because he was closer.
Go, Captain, go.
Score you, mate. The
He's
captain's
gonna,
the
Colin,
same.
you gotta.
That's the highest. That
Beach it.
one's the highest. He nearly beached it, but he did get
He nearly
higher.
beat it.
Normally, people would take a great haul of the previous day home safely, but Jacob decided to try and do this.
It's just gonna do it.
I'm gonna jump the pod.
Go jump the fucking life pod, bro.
Guys. Oh, fuck.
He's on the life pod.
I can't get that down.
I wanna see.
I can't get that down.
It's fallen off, bro. It's in the water for
It's
me.
not for
There's nothing
me.
on there for me.
For me, it's under. Do you want me to move it?
What the?
Oh, it killed me.
This obviously caused the second death off the run. He also happened to drop every item he was holding.
I have nothing anymore, so I need to make everything again.
Joe and I helped Jacob retrieve his stuff, and the radio told us about a very important passenger on Lifepod 13.
Attach Lifepod is carrying high priority passenger.
Yoki Kasa. I said Kasa. Why do I have to record this anyway?
Also, expanding the inside of the very cluttered base, which just led to more fighting.
Charging it. So 98%, and it just got nicked.
Sorry. This is where my two were. My two
Well,
were.
that was empty when I came in. You just got nicked
Moon
again.
falls things.
No, that was mine.
No, I just put that in.
The 99% one.
Brother, I put it in. I literally have it on record.
With no power due to the crappy solar panels, the radio sparked into life.
Aurora, we're approaching the planet now. We have a landing site for you that's... well, it's better than the alternatives. We've sent you the coordinates.
Just as Jacob decided to dock his Seamoth, sucking every bit of power from the base.
Sunbeam's coming.
Well, it's better than the alternatives.
Well, everyone better go get some bladder fish.
It'll take us a couple of days.
Oh, fuck. What does that mean?
Alright, I will not dock my Seamoth.
Don't leave us waiting.
What did you... Was that you just slammed in?
Yeah, I docked it to get charge up, and then it just took every bit of power out of the base.
Wait, in the moon pool? Did you build the moon pool?
But the sunbeam was coming fast, so with a dash, we quickly added more solar panels to prevent Jacob from breaking the base again, gathered enough food and water, did a little bit of trolling.
Yeah. Cool. I hear him giggling in the background. This guy's a fuck. How is this guy second in command?
And also managed to crash the server. Shocker. But with a reload, we had zero clue when or if the sunbeam would be coming to save us due to a visual glitch. So we decided to set off immediately towards the island. Column opted to go left, wrapping around the island, which paid off, granting us safe passage onto the island. We discovered a mysterious purple tablet, which managed to disable the force field and allowed us to enter the facility, which gained us the achievement Ancient Technologies for finding the enforcement platform. Once inside, we found tons of scannable items, including a doomsday device and a strange elevator.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
The deeper we went into the strange facility, we lowered another force field with the purple tablet, allowing us to yet again head deeper. Seemingly, having reached the core, we created a guard of honor for our Captain Column, as he interacted with the core itself.
Approach the core!
I'm waiting for him to angle slightly.
Where is he? This is snake, bro. Oh, it stabbed me. The fuck?
That well good.
Here we go, let's see what it says.
Oh, I see your eyes.
You in it as well?
Yeah.
Having learned that this building is in fact a weapon used to quarantine the whole planet and that we ourselves were getting infected even more, not a great bit of news to find out. We drowned our sorrows by heading into the cave system within the island, scavenging and filling our boots full of diamonds and lithium, useful for crafting later on. But before we entered the cave, a bet happened.
Oh, it's on 1 to 5, you jump in right now.
Alright, someone call it.
Go on, Colin. 3. Wait, what is it? 1 to 5?
Yeah.
You can't use
Alright.
that.
Yeah, go on.
3, 2, 1.
4.
2.
Oh.
Reverse.
Go on.
Reverse.
3, 2, 1.
1. 3.
Fuck
Now
it.
we go down a number.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh.
You left again.
Bitch, you absolute bitch, man.
Did he jump
He
in?
went to fake it, but then he jumped too far.
You've got to come back in now, you have to. You're an idiot,
Get in.
For context, the right hand side of this island contains a pretty scary fish, and Jacob panicked, but he recovered it luckily. Just as we emerged from the cave, the sunbeam had broken and entered the atmosphere. The end was near as the sunbeam approached, closer and closer. However, the building seemed to move, and all of a sudden...
Change course. Set thrusters to full.
With the hope of rescue gone, we played around with the alien teleporter,
Zoe floor. It looks like a
What are you doing down there, dude?
scavenged some more, and then a little bit more trolling.
Yeah, we can. We can jump the exact opposite side.
Oh,
Someone's on here.
He's gone. I ain't going with him.
Yeah, that's
and even explored the area adjacent to the island, finding the 3 Cyclops engine fragments before returning back to base. Back at base, we had received an eerie message.
9 new biological subjects designated. Mode. Hunting. Analyzing. Sharing subject locations with other agents.
Maybe this is because we tried to jump one earlier, but who knows. We made some improvements, adding more storage, building 5 moon pools for all of our Seamoths, adding the vehicle upgrade station, allowing us to colour and customise our Seamoths, which will help massively. Also, getting the modification station, allowing us to upgrade to a thermoblade, a better O2 tank, and better fins for swimming. We were making some incredible progress, topping this off with a scanner room to complete the newly expanded base. Now we had only one feasible thing to do. We all boarded our freshly kitted out Seamoths and set sail towards the Aurora. Led by Colum, we had to follow him wherever we went, which did lead to a somewhat awkward entry to the ship.
Oh. What just blew?
What the fuck?
Jacob just crashed into Colum.
What?
Yep.
Colum doesn't have a Seamoth.
It just blew up.
I don't know where the fuck we are.
We've gone back to the front.
Oh yeah, because Colin went underneath it.
Yeah, we've gone underneath the front.
Oh yeah, here we are.
I can't hear it. So
Oh my god, who just rammed into me?
Has he done it again?
No, Matt rammed into me.
He was in front of you.
No, that is not what happened.
That is what happened. I watched it.
So, yeah, with half the vessels destroyed before entering, and from our own problems, not even from an attack, we boarded the Aurora. Now on board, we did some sick parkour to enter the main part of the ship quickly, finding the Seamoth Bay with a Seamoth Depth Module Mark 1 and some PDAs. Then we found the Aurora's reactor core, which had exploded back on day 2. We went about repairing the reactor, stopping further radiation from leaking out, and getting the achievement, Extinction Event Avoided. With the crisis averted, we explored further, finding tons of cool things for our base. The Neptune rocket blueprint to help us escape the planet, and most importantly, the prawn suit blueprint. Now, I want to quickly add, this mod is incredible, but currently being in its alpha, it has a problem with mortal people causing the Leviathans to freeze. To make it more authentic for the viewer and narrative, we are going to be sending Colum, our first time Subnautica player, into these different scenarios alone to get the full experience, as the other 4 have already seen the mysteries this ocean contains.
Where he starts ordering a sandwich.
The code should be 2679. The regular's just a ham and cheese. Okay, would you just say ham and cheese?
Having returned from the Aurora on the day previous, we sorted our inventories out before deciding to track down to the Gassy base, located 250 meters underground. However, we couldn't find it in our home biome, so we decided to kill a few birds with one stone. So the plan was set. Lifepod 13 was the target. We headed there, passing into a new biome, the mushroom biome, not before some mutiny in the crew.
On your left.
Aye, get up.
Let's not crash into each other.
Hang on a minute. Who the fuck you just called Captain?
He made a Captain America reference though.
No. Absolute disgust.
Sorry, you have to pass that down the chain, Captain.
We arrived in the mushroom biome, finding the life pod which contained the PDA. We also found this massive tree in the center of the biome, which was very disorientating to explore. But Jacob managed to find something to help with an achievement down the line. We continued to explore the biome for the next chunk of time. Jacob killed a bone shark.
I killed it.
Joe ventured far in, finding the Cyclops bridge fragment, completing 2/3 of the overall Cyclops blueprint. Colum nearly dehydrated. This happens a lot to him for some reason, by the way. Kieran then explored this wreck, which was dangerously balancing atop a mushroom tree, managing to find the power cell charger to install back at the base, even though Colum couldn't see the wreck.
There is no building here. If you're in something.
Then we got a little brave. we headed to the edge of the blood kelp biome, spotting a crab squid, the scariest monster in the game. I won't take anything else for an answer.
What's that? What the fuck is that?
Collected some blood oil to farm back at base, and then we saw the accurately named Electric Cunt. Joe even managed to grab some uranium before we decided we'd rolled the dice enough with that biome for now. It was now time to seek out the Degassi base. We were searching for the entrance to a cave located in the grassy plateau biome when our radio kicked into life.
This is Lifepod 4. We've landed close to the Aurora. Flotation device is active, but we've got some big old fish in the water with us. I don't know how long we're gonna last. We're close to the crash site, so bring radiation protection.
With the approximate location of Lifepod 4 known, we completely ignored this, as we all know what is near that, so there's no chance they're alive. We will check soon though, I guess. After a short time looking, Kieran and Jacob located the hole in the Jelly Shroom Cave, and the team headed inside. Now in normal circumstances, this is one of the nicest biomes in the whole game. Your only worry is the jelly snakes, but steering clear of them is normally a piece of cake, but not in this mod. For some strange reason, they are, well, I'll just let the chaos of this part play out for you, and you can see for yourself.
Oh, it just fucking swam through me.
It comes out the wall, honestly, wait until you see the footage, right? It comes out the wall and just stares at me.
They have no right being how big they are on my screen, bro. It's not.
Yeah, I swear.
They were huge and incredibly erratic. One of them managed to smack Joe and Kieran's Seamoth under the depth limit.
Oh my god, he's pushed my Seamoth under crush depth, you little twat. You little fucking twat.
Maximum depth.
And just following you. Did it blow you up?
Try to get your Seamoth up, Kieran.
Mine's here.
Who
Oh,
was
it was mine. Mine has been blown up.
Nevertheless, we pressed on. Well, Colum did die to this hanging bush thing.
I just died.
But other than that, we grabbed some magnetite and helped ourselves out to the flooded old Degassi base, scanning the water filtration machine blueprint alongside the multi-purpose room and grabbing 4 PDAs, unlocking the achievement Follow the Degassi for finding their base. We learned that the Degassi, in their infinite wisdom, decided that this wasn't deep enough, so one argument later, they went deeper, and in our infinite wisdom, we were now going to track them. I don't know who is more stupid, but we move. Jacob found the jelly snake egg as well to help us along with hatching every egg. We bid the massive jelly snakes goodbye, retreating back to our base where we decided to utilise the power of having 5 people to its strengths for the first time. We first started with crafting our Seamoth depth module upgrades, with everyone getting the minimum of depth module 2 apart from Jacob, which will come back to haunt him later. Kieran planted the blood oil, and it's now time worth mentioning one of the funnier glitches we encountered on our travels.
Yeah, all 7 is just unlimited titanium for me. I think it's me causing this glitch, you know. Every single time I open a fucking thing, it does it.
For some reason, when Kieran interacts with lockers, it randomly overflows, causing some items to multiply. This is a blessing, as you can imagine, but when he's spitting out useless shit, as we will encounter later on, it can be a curse too for storage management. Then it was on to base expansion time. We began by adding multi-purpose rooms, to the left and to the right of the locker corridor, placing a bioreactor down there in one of them for the future. Then it was time. Colin was about to embark on his biggest mission yet. He was off to the Aurora, to first grab some things we managed to miss in our endless stupidity, and to head back to scan any blueprints he could find.
What was that noise?
He had a Reaper encounter, but bravely brought home 0 fragments, and didn't die, so not at all a failure. Considering he then promptly jetted off to the Mushroom Forest, managing to find the remaining Cyclops hull fragments, unlocking the Cyclops itself, so not a bad day from Colin. Back at base, we had an idea. I was going to stay and work on a little redesign, and Kieran and Joe and Jacob We're going to head down to the gassy base at 500 meters. Column is still out in the depths at this point, so with the 3 teams completing their own assignments, progress was the name of the game. Let's leave myself to focus on the base for now, and follow the team of 3. Remember when I said Jacob didn't have the Seamoth depth module? Well...
Rest of the fragments. Alright Jacob, where's your thing? Oh, it's all the way up there. Alright.
He would now have to swim and use the other 2 Seamoths for air. So they dove into the bulb zone, navigating through the bone sharks, warpers, and eventual crab squids, causing some discomfort. Down there, they managed to find the alien containment blueprints, allowing us to hatch the alien eggs, alongside multiple PDAs, and some other items as well. This unlocked the achievement Sea Monsters for finding the Grand Reef Degassi base. This was where the Degassi cruise lock ran out sadly. The mercenary brought a literal Reaper Leviathan back to the base, cracking idea, triggering another one to follow it back and promptly attack them, causing the crew to be separated. On the way out, more fun occurred.
The fucking crab squid just teleported in front of my fucking... Oh, fuck off, you daft little cunt.
With everything collected, the team of 3 headed home. Wells modifying the base, causing multiple cracks to form, but it's fine, they'll never know. With a newly modified base to begin building within and continue expanding, myself and Jacob began to flesh out the new base, adding ladders, some water filtration machines, and a little farm area built on some foundations. Kieran went about creating a little farm room for the bioreactor to give us some sustainable power, planting the seeds we found all the way back on the first island we found. Then we had some fun with base building.
We have a prison. He's just stuck. We got our own little human observer.
Whilst out diving, Joe found the prawn suit grappling arm blueprint, which would be helpful later on for sure. Jacob and myself continued adding to the base, while Kieran then set off working on the locker storage room. In hindsight, placing the guy who is accidentally duplicating useless items on construction of a storage room, not a great idea, but we got it done in the end, giving the base an order. Maybe we might actually complete the goal set out at the beginning to have a cool sea base. With everyone back at base now, Jake constructed a sort of scuffed round table in the centre of the storage room, which led to a, well, have a look.
Wait, oh.
I was facing the wrong way.
He don't like us looking him in the eye, that's what it is.
Colin, take your seat in the command chair. Don't mind me, gentlemen.
He then placed some screenshot picture frames to immortalise the moment in the base forever. Then Joe decided to try and help the power out some more by exploring the thermal vent power part of the game, adding some much needed extra power to the base. I added a little observatory for aesthetics, and Kieran laid down plans for the alien containment units for hatching the eggs. However, we had lockers full of diamonds, thanks to that idiot duplicating them.
I think I've accidentally duplicated a few radiation helmets as well.
You never have enough.
But he added an extra moon pool for symmetry, so we'll let him off. We sent Colin and Joe off to the Jelly Shroom Cave to sweep the area for mainly magnetite and anything else we could have missed, which would help with future endeavours of crafting. They returned with inventories full. Excellent work. We kept on managing the overflowing storage room and making small improvements to the base here and there, whilst Colin began 2 monumental crafting ventures. Firstly, he set about building himself the prawn suit. This unlocked the achievement Ordered the Prawn for crafting it. He quickly docked this in the 6th moon pool, promptly naming it Captains, and then set off for his next task. Grabbing a boatload of materials, he crafted through the night and darted up to the surface, summoning the whole team to craft the biggest upgrade yet. Literally, the biggest. This unlocked the achievement 40-foot sub for 5, and even though the Cyclops needs 3 people to operate, I'm sure we would find a way to fuck it up.
The black pear, what What the fuck?
I typed it wrong.
It's gotta be the top, and it gotta be the
I typed it wrong.
top.
No, we're keeping the black bear now.
Does it multicolour?
It's RGB.
With the birth of the black pair, we now had unlocked 10 out of 17 achievements, and we were well on our way to additional goals of hatching every egg and making our dream sea base, which under my own leadership was coming along nicely. We took our seats at the round table and the captain gave us a debrief to end another productive day.
Good job, boys. Only 7 achievements left. Woo!
We awoke on a brand new day with the goal clear. Prawn suits. Colm already had his, so he set off with Jacob on a mission to collect the remaining eggs we needed to complete our goal of hatching them all.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh my god!
Oh my goodness!
They managed to grab the Ampiel, Bone Shark and Mesmer egg, leaving just 2 more to collect. Back at base, Joe was the one today to receive the duplication glitch. However, when the trio began working on their prawn suits, they noticed that 80% of our stuff had disappeared. Alongside this, somehow, the base managed to flood to Jacob's incompetence yet again. We should have got a counter just for him instead.
Why is the base flooding?
Oh, fuck's sake, bud. Who put a tiger plant in it?
Me.
Is that what's caused?
Yeah, because our stalker egg and our sandshark egg hatched, it started shooting them.
Oh fuck, Jacob! How do you cause more damage when you don't do it?
I put the seeds in. I didn't think it'd shoot. I thought it'd be like our friend.
But let's move on quickly. The duo returned promptly afterwards, triggering us to go full steam ahead on prawn suit production. Kieran gathered quartz, Joe started the Stalker 2 farm, and the base flooded yet again.
Why is the base flooded?
Is it? Pretty calm where I am. Never mind.
After some time though, the prawn suits began to be completed one by one, customizing them to matching our colours. We spent some time building grappling arms to allow for quicker movement around the ocean, and then it was time to head off to Lifepod 2 at a depth of 500 meters. Perfect for our first voyage in the Black Pair. Kieran spent some time customizing the inside as 5th in command. He had to serve the needs of the team just in time for Colm to come and steal all the credit.
Okay, Captain.
Go, take a walk with me. This is our fabricator.
Thank you.
Courtesy of you.
Yeah.
This is where your boy gets all the messages.
Well, if we could all go inside.
This is the grow room. Don't tell the authorities.
No, we will not. The Sea Police.
With the Cyclops built, it's now time for one of the greatest voyages known to man. We embark towards the Lifepod 2, which if you're curious, is located here on the map and is actually one of the entrances to the Lost River biome. The Cyclops was, well, once again, I'll let the footage do the talking.
Oh, reversible, yep, reversible. Oh, Jacob has glitched through the roof.
Quirks aside, and Colm's driving aside, we quickly, 25 minutes later, arrived at Lifepod 2, finding another PDA inside. With the lure of the big shadowy entrance being too much for Colm, he decided to pilot the Cyclops inside, bumping into everything he could along the way.
Tree ahead.
Oh god.
We managed to just about squeeze into the first area, scavenging the area for some nickel ore and sulfur deposits, resources which will be valuable in the future for crafting. Colm decided to die though, which halted the progress, as he then proceeded to swim 1,500 meters back down to us. But he made it back, but not before the nearby Ghost Leviathan decided to fuck around with us a little bit. With a seating plan rearrangement, we headed even deeper into the river, stumbling across a huge skeleton structure laying dormant on the sea floor. This area seemed to have multiple winding paths leading in various directions, so with no actual thought, Colm drove on. But luckily, this led us to a new alien facility, which through searching the insides and learning more about the Kara bacteria,
data pertaining to the bacterium is being downloaded. Caution. Detecting atypical fluctuations in blood plasma proteins. A self-scan is strongly advised. self-scan complete. Bacterial infection has spread to the skin and pulmonary system.
This subsequent exploration unlocked us the achievement Follow the Lost River for finding the deceased research facility. Whilst on board, our radio kicked into life again.
This is Lifepod 7. Coordinates attached. Pod is structurally sound, but the fabricator's bust. Requesting assistance.
Now I'm about to tell you this with confidence. We never went there. Writing and narrating this in hindsight, I can tell you how stupid this was. So here's stock footage of what we find at Lifepod 7. Moving swiftly on, we left the facility, heading back to our Cyclops and promptly taking a wrong turn whilst trying to leave. Our next endeavour seemed awfully scary, but yet clear all the same. We were going to have to return to the surface to upgrade our prawn suit's depth module and bring them down if we were to continue to make progress. We also decided as a group we were never going to touch the Cyclops ever again, as it caused around 9 deaths in one voyage. Eventually, Colin found a way out and we returned home. Back at base, Colin released and played with a cuddlefish, gaining us the achievement, Man's Best Friend. We placed all the other eggs we had in and plotted out a plan for the final descent. We had a list of things to do and gather. We planned to craft the final depth module for the prawn suit down in the Lost River, as we needed the resource kyanite to make this happen. This meant we needed to gather the other materials, then we gathered the resources to build a mini sea base down there and loaded them into the storage. Joe collected this hydrothermal equipment for power, and Jacob grabbed a bioreactor for insurance. Finally, Kieran and Joe headed to the Dunes biome to find the prawn suit drill arm blueprint, returning as soon as they could.
Reap up.
With all that done, Kieran deconstructed the fabricator and the vehicle modification console, and that was it. The team was ready. Of course, with it being us, we couldn't resist on adding an extra hour to the run.
This looks fucking sick, by the way. The Leaning Tower of Prawn.
No, he's missed.
No, he's got it. Let me take a screenshot, turn around, face me. Face me.
I am.
Lines up with my one.
Oh!
Oh, Jacob.
Matt move. Oh, well, fuck.
Whoa, one blew up.
No. The goal, simply to head deeper in search of answers and a cure to the disease. The journey by our own standards was fairly uneventful, opting to head through a different entrance closer to our home base, through the bulb zone. We entered the Lost River, searching this alien vault briefly, getting half the team stuck behind the alien force field. Then we kept exploring, deeper in. Not good news for a certain someone.
Ah! No! Haven't we scammed one? Oh my god, that's so scary! No! Ah!
Jesus Christ, this drill noise is... I feel like
oh my god, I didn't realise that was right there. I hate this!
With Jacob traumatized by the 2 crab squids patrolling this area, we quickly moved on, diving and finding the gargantuan Leviathan skeleton area, allowing us to descend back to the area we last made it to. We took a quick turn through the Treve Cove biome, an area of safety in the infinitely dangerous Lost River, allowing for a much needed respite and the construction of our temporary home. With the new base in operation, we planted some food pots to sustain us and took off once again in the prawn suits, diving below the tree cove into somewhere darker. We needed kyanite, as I mentioned earlier, which luckily we managed to find by poking slowly and carefully into the lava zone, home to all kinds of nasty creatures patrolling around. Cautiously, we gathered the 3 kyanite each required and quickly flung ourselves back to the temporary base.
Oh my god!
Crafting the final upgrade needed for the prawn suits, the Mark III depth module, allowing unlimited exploration in the deepest depths of the ocean. A quick swap of the prawn suits due to complications.
Kieran, can you see mine?
Right, I sent that
Are we gonna do a jersey swap?
And we were off. Shortly after diving, we discovered the skeleton structure of the Reaper Leviathan, which wasn't a good sign regarding the food chain down here. Ploughing further on, we discovered this large structure contained within this mountain. When we entered the lava castle, we navigated its confusing corridors, eventually popping out face to face with another alien structure. And one purple tablet later, we lowered the force field, revealing a room full of electric currents. Downloading the data and learning of a primary containment facility south-southeast of our current position, and of course, deeper down. This subsequent exploration unlocked us the achievement Thermal Activity for finding the alien thermal plant. Whilst here, we found ourselves a blue tablet and some iron cubes for future use in crafting. This seemed like the final descent, so after a bit of searching, Kieran found a hole and we entered it. Entering the lava lakes below, we saw a huge structure across the lake, and with the noise of something a bit bigger than a reaper ringing around, we wasted no time grappling straight into the entrance, opted to exit the safety of our prawn suits, and began to explore. We ended up finding multiple different rooms contained within this facility. With the help of iron cubes, we managed to activate the 4 different alien phase gates, which took us to various different key locations around the map. These will be important later. We further explored the building, unlocking along the way the achievement 14,000 Leagues Under the Sea for finding and exploring the facility. We discovered this strange room which was piping what looked like glowing peepers through it. We nearly lost Kieran during this, however.
Exit's over.
And also uncovered an aquarium looking room housing all types of eggs to scan. With all other options exhausted, the only option was to further into the base, utilizing a blue tablet to lower another force field, entering a room containing a suspicious pool of water. Throughout our journey, we have been getting more strange messages from an entity trying to communicate with us. So when we plunged into the pool, we were shocked to discover that the same entity would rise up and begin once again to communicate with us.
We are curious whether you swim with the current or fight against it as they did.
We followed the Sea Emperor Leviathan down into the tank below, learning that the aliens before us trapped the Emperor to try and learn of a cure for the Kara bacteria. Unfortunately for them, the enzyme needed to cure the disease can only be produced by the Emperor's offspring, as her version is sadly not concentrated enough. So with us being her last hope, the Emperor entrusted the blueprint to us for hatching the enzymes. Remembering the portals from earlier, turns out the 4 to 5 seeds needed can be found nearby to the teleport locations. As with many of the game's subtle features, we completely missed this point, opting for a more tedious way to completion. Joe, the native control freak, decided he would swim around the planet collecting the seeds. Meanwhile, I, myself, would take a short break, leaving the 3 idiots left to explore. Let's just say the sillier part of the mod.
Like, go check it out.
Kieran? What did you just do? Oh! What's the thing from Star Wars? The droidica. For the suplex! Bumper moths, hold that. No!
After somehow driving the Seamoth back into the portal, getting it stuck, Kieran and the 2 others, joined by myself and finally Joe, returned to the Emperor's location. An hour later than we planned, but we got it done. Colum administered the hatching enzymes, and the baby Emperors were free to swim off around the planet, depositing the enzyme 42, curing the ocean's waters of the Cara bacterium. After curing ourselves, we had no time to waste as it was already 2 AM, so we headed straight through a portal and up towards the alien gun that had earlier shot down the sunbeam, as we couldn't leave the atmosphere with it still operational. Now, when the 3 idiots were left to their own devices, they learned of a command which can spawn Seamoths. Harmless fun until Kieran thought of the genius idea to add a number at the end of that command, causing this.
There's a lot of Seamoths there.
My god. That's okay, we might do that one.
Oh, that probably open. Alright guys, let's go to the... Oh!
In a beautiful parallel to earlier, except this time, all piloting a Seamoth, Colum once again interacted with the alien gun.
Get him!
Get him! Get him!
No, leave me alone.
Is that what you did?
Someone just killed me.
Heading back to base, with the gun deactivated, we had some cleanup to do. We arrived at the site of the crab squid hatching, meaning we managed to hatch all the possible eggs, completing a crucial goal set out at the beginning of the video. Remember Jacob being scared of crab squids? Well, one more time, just for fun.
Jacob, look at it.
I'm in the aquarium.
Oh, fuck right off.
What did you do? Did you put a crab squid outside?
Squid on.
It disappeared. Oh my god, it's back. No, fuck that.
It's on Colum.
Next on the list, it was time for Colum to lead the team into the void, searching for the PDA message you receive upon entering the biome, which we did fairly successfully, in my opinion, for our standards.
Warning, entering ecological dead zone. Adding report to databank.
And that was it. The last task was upon us. The end was in sight. Now I won't bore you with the hour of resource gathering and crafting. I feel like we've taken enough of your time. The platform was first to be built, however wonky, followed by the gantry, then the ion boosters, followed by the fuel reserves, and finally the cockpit. It was complete. Our escape from this planet, the Neptune escape rocket in all its glory. We gathered anything we'd need to take with us, taking one last look at the base we had built, ticking off our goal of building our dream sea base, in my opinion, from the one pipe structure to the multi-floored base we called home, and took the elevator up to the wonky Neptune rocket, activating the systems one by one, thinking back to the memories we made along the way. The first Seamoth crash, the voyage to the Aurora, the journey to the Lost River, and everything else in between. We shut the door for one last time. We opted to leave Joe behind, Colum's decision, which we couldn't argue with, and we took our seats, but not before each depositing a time capsule, each earning the achievement, leave only time capsules. And with one last look, Colum thrust the rocket into life, and we took off, earning the final achievement, Go Among the Stars, achieving 100% in Subnautica. With the additional goal also complete, we came out of the asteroid field with minimal damage, and with one final push, headed off into the unknown for the final time.
What is a wave without the ocean? A beginning without an end. They are different, but they go together. Now you go among the stars, and I fall among the sand. We are different, but we go together.
And having returned home, we racked up a pretty harsh debt we had to pay off.
Welcome home to all terror. Permission to land will be granted once you have settled your outstanding balance of 1 trillion credits.
So we worked on that whilst Altera entered the planet after it was now safe to do so, due to our work curing the Kara. However, an explosion caused complications alongside the disappearance of our sister, so with a nasty debt looming over our heads and plenty of experience on planet 4546b, we were heading back, this time voluntarily, to uncover the mysteries of what had happened and maybe, just maybe, find some old friends.
This is the farthest that I could take you on company space bucks, Robin. You sure you want this? The research isn't everything.
It is to me. And Sam. I need to know what happened.
With the meteor shower in full effect, this was our only chance to enter the planet undetected by Altera. So the four of us hopped into the escape pod and we hit the thrusters, leaving everything behind. And after crash landing, we weren't greeted by a tray to the face this time.
No. Door's locked. Open and no.
But snow and penguins. So we stretched out and said hello to each other.
Hello.
Hey guys.
Before our aircraft blew up.
Oh my god!
Colum, you were stood right next to that, bro.
Meaning we were truly stranded. So with meteors still flying into the planet, we looted what we could and hugged these strange plants for warmth before there was only one place left to go, back into the water. So we raced to the edge and jumped in.
In we go!
Yeah, watch me drop in though. Here we go!
Oh shit, you actually dive. That's sick.
And after getting acclimated,
oh, there's penguins!
We grabbed some fish, harvested some outcrops, and headed to our drop pod, where we had a fabricator and a single piece of storage to our names. We set our sights on basic equipment, and after studying the blueprints, we set off in separate directions.
Hello. Look at the window, there's a fish in the window.
Harvesting nearby plants for batteries and outcrops for metals, crafting our scanners, where Jacob rediscovered his love for scanning, which would go on to get him in more trouble than he bargained for moving forward.
What's that noise? Oh.
This guy's well on edge.
The crab squids.
It's the crab squids.
Our PDAs then alerted us to a nearby supply cache.
Are we going to that emergency supply crate?
Quite far away.
Wait to swim faster.
But in typical fashion, we ignored it for now, focusing on the next pieces of equipment we want, the knife, flippers, and the basic oxygen tank. So we continued to harvest resources, drifting into a nearby kelp forest biome for seed clusters, where we were then drawn in by a mysterious spark of blue electricity in the distance.
What's that like Nemo looking thing?
Do you see the little like blue?
Yeah, like the sparky blue thing.
I'll go fucking check what it is.
So with no survival instinct whatsoever, we swam straight for it. Turns out it was an abandoned research platform, so we scanned fragments for important blueprints and farmed some B-roll for later.
How are you feeling right now, you know what I mean?
It's pretty cold out here.
Nearly losing Jacob whilst looting the resources below.
Nearly just ran out of oxygen.
Actually, yeah. Oh no, I'm actually cooked.
You about to die?
Yeah, he's gone way far down.
So we continued to gather through the night, scanning fragments for the mobile vehicle bay and crafting our oxygen tanks, knives and flippers, where Jacob ran into a pack of sea monkeys.
Dude! Sea monkey.
So of course swam with them and obviously scanned them too. But even with flippers, our problem was speed of traversal, accompanied by a very short oxygen supply, so the once again self-appointed Captain Column had had enough. We took off to the supply cache, in search of whatever we could find, alongside fragments for a potential sea glide.
Ooh, sea glide!
We kept encountering sea monkeys along the way, but we found our way there all the same, looting it for what we could find, deciding to be brave and explore the neighbouring caves, but after a crash fish encounter,
that crash fish,
oh no, the fucking bastards are back,
and realising the oxygen plants only feed 1 out of the 4 of us, we opted to leave it be for now, so we focused in on fragments, finding the blueprints for the grab trap and finally the sea glide. But just as we scanned the final fragment, we received our first strange message.
What is that?
The devil himself.
That sounds like a distress call.
Transmission of unknown origin. Source of transmission depth calculated at approximately 200 meters.
And with only a depth of 200 meters to go off of, we took in the night sky and started working on our next venture, the Sea Glide, which was a quick process due to the amount of gathering we'd done whilst out hunting fragments. So after crafting them, Colin decided we should at least try and scope out the nearby biome, the Twisty Bridges. So whilst I was gathering food and being responsible, they obviously didn't follow suit, proceeding to mess around.
That's sick.
Wowie.
What's going on there?
There's a shark.
It's like I've seen in Kingsman, you know, when they all grab each other when they're flying out the plane.
And they go like...
I'm sure this won't cause any panic down the road, but after some time, we grouped up and headed in, encountering this shark-like creature.
Oh, there's a shark with wings.
Oh my god, he's coming for me. But I really want to scan it.
So Jacob scanned him, of course, but our whole attention was diverted to a huge upgrade we found.
Oh shit, who found a sea truck fragment?
The Sea Truck Fragment, which was a 4-man truck which would make traversing the planet much easier. So we quickly hunted down Fragment 2 and 3.
I got one.
I got one.
Oh shit, well we know where we're going.
Which also started unlocking a huge amount of blueprints that we could craft, including upgraded oxygen tanks, so we headed back to the drop pod to work on that, alongside working on crafting our first sea truck. So we crafted the titanium ingot, glass, power cell, alongside the advanced wiring kit, and combined that with the 3 pieces of lead, meaning we had everything we needed. We crafted the mobile vehicle bay, our upgraded oxygen tanks, and headed to the surface to make our first big step towards establishing ourselves on the planet.
Here he is, the sea truck. Oh, this is a tight squeeze, isn't it?
The sea truck, and it was glorious. So Captain Colin took the pilot seat and the 3 of us joined him in the cramped interior, where he took it for a spin, and we only had one place we wanted to take it first. We were heading out to hunt down the strange signal.
Take us down, Colin.
Where's the table, Coral?
Approximately 200 meters below the surface. So after descending to the maximum depth of 150 meters in the sea truck, we were out of options and had to swim. Luckily though, we managed to spot a glowing green alien pylon, and with no clue of what was on the other side, including if there was any oxygen, we plunged straight in, eventually popping out and finding an alien structure where a voice greeted us.
Hello? Is someone there?
We're running out of time.
I remember those little dudes.
And after some deliberating, the voice had detected a host it could enter.
We will be lost unless we find a new host. Can we help?
The bad news is it was all 4 of us, so as we approached the pedestal, the alien stored in the cube made its move.
Brace for transfer.
Brace? What's happening?
Transfer.
And after waking up, it turns out the alien had used our brains as the host, meaning we now had a voice in our heads.
Why do you sound like you're inside my head?
The facility identified hospitable capacity within your cerebral cortex.
You are in my head? I offered you my PDA! Get out!
So after he decided to ghost us to let us cool down for a few minutes, a new Delta Dock location had appeared on our beacons, so we headed back to the sea truck, especially with some of us lacking on food and water. Shame they didn't prepare earlier like I did. And just as we returned, the alien decided to call us. How polite.
Oh no, we got a phone call.
You understand this arrangement is undesirable to you.
You're not real. Go away.
To go, we require a suitable body for transfer.
Why do you keep saying we? How many of you are there?
One of us and all of us. We do not think of ourselves as individual, distinct.
Why don't you start by telling me who you are?
You may append your seed code to my species designation. Please call me Al-An.
At least he taught us his name, which was Alan, and told us he was an architect who needed our help in hunting down components to help him rebuild his body, where he would then leave our heads alone. Could have just asked before forcing our hand. But anyway, we opted to plow straight to the Delta station, running into our first larger creature. So of course Jacob scanned it, and just as the sun was rising, we docked the sea truck and headed into the Delta station, rather awkwardly for some of us, where after scanning some blueprints for our future base, another voice was heard, but this one wasn't in our heads.
This is a recorded message. If you can hear this, you're trespassing. If you know what's good for you, you'll get the hell out of here.
It came from speakers dotted around the Delta base, so we obviously ignored the message to turn back and leave, but the woman from the message decided to take, well, a more aggressive method of warning us.
Oh shit!
Stop right there, Altera. You're out of bounds.
I'm not with Altera.
Then your position is doubly precarious. Stay off my land.
And after telling us to stay off her land, we recognised her from somewhere, but we couldn't quite place it. So our PDA gave us an approximate location of where she went, but for now, we were more focused on exploring the Delta base, finding tons of new blueprints for the base building, and tons of PDAs along the way. So we pillaged the fuck out of it, grabbing posters, ornaments, and finding this satellite tower, which looked like something we could activate and override one day. And after we were done exploring, we opted to leap into the water on the other side, finding an abandoned ship alongside these thermal vents and more of them aggressive creatures from earlier.
Jacob, why are there so many of these fucking dinosaur things?
So Jacob, being the only smart one, grabbed our sea truck, scooped us all up, and we headed back to the drop pod, where we were beginning to think about setting down a permanent base somewhere.
I've got the stuff for a habitat builder now.
I'm gonna say I think we've outgrown our little pod.
But we had to prepare first. We crafted a repair tool, as our driving straight into danger could be a problem for our sea truck's long-term health. Colin returned too, and crafted the habitat builder we need. So we fixed the truck, emptied our storage out, and took off. Well, of course, the second Kieran got behind the wheel, he learnt you could flip the sea truck like a hamster ball, leading to some queasy moments.
Can we flip in this? Oh, we can.
Oh my god.
Oh, we can.
That hurts my eyes.
And after leaving the drop pod behind, we began searching for a place to call home, passing Delta Island and approaching the last known position of that angry lady, because nothing would make her happier than some new neighbours. A new danger emerged in the open ocean, where our carefree movements stiffened suddenly as we approached this new threat.
Go, look left, look left. Look left.
And Jacob's desire to also scan everything evaporated quickly, even under Column's orders.
Go scan him?
Hell no, I ain't scanning that.
No, Jacob, you said you scanned anything.
Hell no, I ain't scanning that.
So Captain Column took it upon himself, learning it was a squid shark, so we left it alone. Repairing the sea truck due to Kieran's reckless driving and manoeuvring around the squid shark, finding this beautiful biome of floating lily pads, alongside these big friendly glow rails, so we knew immediately this would be our home for the foreseeable future. So Column laid down our first base, where Alan contacted us about a potential important structure, but we were completely distracted by our new home. Jacob then learned Kieran into a rather trippy experience.
Look, over here. Look at this.
Whoa, that's cool. Is it friendly? It's not friendly! It is not friendly! It's fucking got me! Oh my god, I'm spinning all over the place.
So Kieran wobbled back home, where we began expanding, adding power, alongside a second multi-purpose room, which was immediately turned into a storage room, leaving the front room for a crafting area. So we decorated it with the things we stole from the Delta platform, added some jukebox speakers for atmosphere, and placed some plant pots, which allowed me to plant some shrub nut seeds, giving us a sustainable source of food and water, as we'd nearly died too many times already. And after the spine of the base was complete, Jacob plugged in the jukebox, giving us some nice music to play around the base.
Is there a funky type B?
Let me get the speakers online.
Yeah, get them speakers. Have you got them throughout the base? I just didn't hear.
Just there's 4 in here, right?
funky type beat.
I think this one will be fun.
Oh, Alan, man, don't ruin the rhythm. Fucking pause it, hold on.
So we borrowed from our previous sea base, installing the captain's desk and chair, adding in some benches, making sure we faced away from the captain at all times, as he doesn't like us looking him in the eye.
Oh, why am I facing you now?
Finally, including a swivel chair for Kieran by the jukebox. And with our base in a good place and our future looking more stable on the planet, Captain Colin decided to take his first meeting, and he gave us the first speech of hopefully many.
Well, boys, day one success. We got a little penguin photo, got some moustache kits, and 4 achievements down. We're doing well.
So after a rousing speech from Colin, we awoke the next day and got straight down to business, harvesting outcrops and the nearby floating islands for metal, allowing Jacob to progress the storage room along.
We need quartz and titanium so that we can...
Sorry, say that again. What?
Titanium.
You said
Shut up,
titanium.
you didn't say it like that.
Speaking of Colin, he spent a lot of his next days bottom feeding his way along the seafloor of our home biome, finding plenty of fragments, some not so friendly plants.
Oh! I'm getting hit by this spiky trap.
And a lot of materials. The 3 of us were on a voyage to grab creepvine when we found a wreckage containing a new jukebox track.
Oh, a wreck. Oh, we got a song.
Alongside some more Seatruck fragments for the future. And after raiding the nearby kelp forest for creepvine clusters, we encountered a unique creature on our way back to the base.
Yo, what's that?
Whoa.
Look! Rock puncher. He punched rocks. Oh my god!
And after checking Kieran's hair extensively,
I'm just checking out your braids.
Any dandruff up there? All good?
We docked back up at the base, where Kieran took the habitat builder and added some much needed battery chargers, which was definitely needed, complete with the aquarium, meaning our sea base was in a great spot. But we had some more upgrades in mind, as after crafting our rebreathers finally, Colin returned to his scavenging, but this time his spelunking brought him to the abandoned Omega Lab.
Wait, there's a base down here.
Where he then proceeded to grab everything, with blueprints, including the exterior grow bed and the water filtration machine, high capacity tank, alongside plenty of PDAs, and the data box containing another handful of blueprints, which would be handy for us moving forward. So he grabbed anything else lying around and opted to surface, but not before grabbing this photo as a souvenir to place on his captain's desk.
Who the fuck is that woman? Like she got stung by a bee.
Is that our sister?
Oh, is it?
Back at base, Jacob was populating the new aquarium.
Oh, that one's sick, the spinning one.
And Kieran was using Colin's progress to further our base's efficiency, adding some exterior grow beds on the roof, planting some gel sacks, and ribbon plants, where Colin then found a PDA from our lost sister, detailing that one of the scientists from Alterra was experimenting with a deadly bacteria on the Leviathans.
Looked like maybe bacteriology. That's what the equipment was for anyway. Before a fire tornado ran through it, or something.
Do you think your sister had something to do with the destruction?
I don't know why she would, but the more I see on this planet, the less I know what to think. Who would want to destroy it?
Not the safest combination if I'm being honest, especially after our prior experience with said bacteria. I was also out in the depths, finding an aquarium module for our Seatruck, and given the expensive crafting cost and general uselessness of the module, surely we are gonna leave it for now.
Can we make that? Because I want to bring my little fish with me.
It's the only thing we've got at the minute, of course.
No, we plotted immediately to work on it, but our progress was halted by a lack of lithium and diamonds. So we were readying ourselves and the Seatruck for adventure. So Colin dropped his new souvenirs off from the Omega Lab and we bundled into the Seatruck with some new locations to head towards. So with Colin behind the wheel, we took off, heading for an artifact Alan had alerted us to earlier.
Can you not stand in front of me, please? So you proceed to stand in front of me, so.
Hoping to find some lithium along the way, and luckily we found lithium almost immediately.
What is that? Lithium?
What was unlucky was what was swimming right above our heads the whole time.
Sulfur. What is that? 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 Look at the size of that fucking fish.
It's behind you, Colin. It's behind you.
Oh my god! Oh! Oh my fucking god, Colin, let us in. We need to go, we need to go.
Go for you.
Oh shit, Colin, it's got us!
No, don't let them destroy the Seatrock.
Oh my god!
Colin, drive!
Colin, did you jump out?
And after Colin abandoned his ship and crew to save himself, the attacks kept coming from crashfish.
Oh, fucking crashfish!
And other creatures in the nearby area.
He's like got me trapped in a little hole. And I can't go out, he's camping.
And just when we were in the clear, I may have led the Leviathan back to them, allegedly.
Okay, I hear something really fucking loud. Oh, he's bringing it with him.
Oh my god!
Oh, he's bringing it with him. Great. Fucking good job, Matt. Get in the Seatrock quick. Oh, there's something else. What is going on?
So after barely surviving our first Leviathan encounter, as a team, we rather cautiously rode along the seabed the rest of the way there, to avoid being surprised again. Managing to find the laser cutter fragments, we also found the Architect artifact, joined by plenty of sea monkeys for good measure, so we scanned it, spoke to Alan.
I hope you will continue to search for more.
Probably not.
And then clambered back into the Seatrock and took off for our next venture.
Kill him then.
Oh yeah, I'll get him.
Where we found our third artifact, which awoke a memory in Alan, allowing him to tell us about the first of the 3 key pieces to restoring him to his former glory.
I have collected enough data to extrapolate the location of the component necessary to assemble my body.
Diamond.
But we were returning home for now, as we had also found more lithium and even some diamonds on our travels, meaning we now had the capacity for upgrades, so started to work on them immediately. First was a booster tank, allowing Kieran to Superman his way around the water.
You put your arm out like Superman. Doesn't feel like I'm going any faster though.
But the main event was being constructed by Jacob.
Class steel.
Was that the flint and steel equivalent?
Yeah.
Who spent our lithiums and diamonds in 2 key areas. Firstly, on a desperately needed depth module, which cost a relatively cheap amount for the benefit we'd get, and then followed it up by spending an absolute shit ton on the aquarium module. But we all wanted it and it was glorious, regardless of its usefulness. So we awkwardly docked it onto our Seatrock.
Yeah!
Oh shit!
And then him and Kieran filled it full with a variety of fish, also then attaching the depth module, allowing us to now descend to the depths of 300 meters. So we were off to an area previously unattainable, joined by our very own in-house ecosystem, and we took off.
Take us away, Colin. Take us away.
Scanning our first blueprint for a later upgrade to the eventual prawn suit.
Don't leave me.
Which was comforting to know we'd soon be flying up the food chain once equipped with them. And if you were wondering where we were going, remembered how we moved right next to the woman who told us to piss off earlier? Well, we were now driving our mobile aquarium right up to her doorstep, which she didn't receive well and warned us again.
Warning, maximum depth.
Didn't I
reached.
tell you to
Hull
stay
damage
away?
imminent.
From what? I don't even know who you are.
Marguerite Maida's the name. You're on my turf.
Great. Can I come in and warm up?
What part of go away do you not understand, Altera?
I'm not with Altera.
Wait, is she from the first game?
Turns out after the frosty reception, she introduced herself as Margaret, the same Margaret from the first game who was dragged away by a Reaper Leviathan. Baffled by how she survived, we ignored her 18th warning and all 4 of us swam straight through to uncover her sea base.
Oh shit, look down here.
Oh, she got a proper gaff. Oh shit.
So we entered in the loudest possible way, grabbed the moon pool.
Oh, she's got a moon pool.
Can we go up it?
Yeah, there's a prawn suit.
Seatrock dock and vehicle upgrade console blueprints, and then decided to enter the main base.
What are we doing? Oh fuck!
Doggy. Hello, doggy.
I told you to stay off my land.
You trained that thing?
Next time I'll let him tear you to ribbons, Altera.
I'm not with Altera. I'm Robin Ayu. I'm looking for information about my sister Sam. I think you might have crossed paths.
Bull crap.
I suggest you take the time you need to come to your senses and then get off my sea base. If you're not Altera, why don't you disable that damn tracking satellite tower instead of barging into my sea base? Maybe once Altera's off my back, I'll remember something about your sister. There's some junk on that table that might help. I couldn't get it to work.
So after nearly killing us, we were now tasked with overriding the same satellite we encountered earlier. So we learned the blueprint alongside pillaging anything we could find from her base.
Let me
The blueprints included a handy Seatruck perimeter defense.
Oh, what was that? Seatruck perimeter defense upgrade. Oh.
Alongside some base building blueprints. Overall, I'd say a successful trip. So with a new task to get on with when we were ready, we continued pillaging, finding a new suit blueprint.
Oh shit, who got that?
And the spy penguin blueprint, which would be very useful for something later on. So with some new items, we opted to return to the base for a quick pit stop.
That's a nice bit.
Here comes the aeroplane.
At home, we mainly added a new fabricator, incredibly poorly I must say.
Oh, someone put a second fabricator. Oh, whoever put that fabricator in, I'm gonna fucking kill him when I see him next.
That would be Jacob.
I did not do that.
That would be Jacob.
What the fuck?
Good job, Jacob. But we then followed that slight fumble.
I cannot line this thing up properly. Someone else will just have to do it.
Oh, that's not that bad. It's just Jacob's attempt was so egregious.
With another monumental moment, introducing the Sleeper Seatruck module. Its purpose? Well, it does fuck all, but we still wanted it all the same. So we docked it to our current Seatruck.
Got us this bedroom module.
Yeah? Slam that bitch on.
Slam it into your rear.
You're gonna do what?
And at the same time, Jacob laid down plans for the Seatruck dock.
That is fucking huge, whoever's trying to build that.
So began collecting materials he'd need to bring that plan to life. I aided in this by connecting the existing base up to it for a smoother entrance. Also adding this window, where Kieran was ordered by the captain to place a photo of him in the Seatruck. Slightly egotistical, but don't tell him I said that.
Oh yeah.
So Colin headed back to bottom feeding with Kieran.
It's not getting through that gap.
Finding some more key blueprints for later and unlocking more advanced materials along the way. Jacob then carried on the upgrade heavy portion of the day by constructing our very own spy penguin, and just as he was on the way to test it out for the first time, I finalized construction of our brand new Seatruck dock.
Oh, Matt! Base damage imminent!
I can't deconstruct it.
But after sorting out the damage, we docked the Seatruck, gave him a fresh paint job and some interior LEDs.
Oh, look at the LEDs in this bitch. I feel like an E-boy. Look at this shit.
And named him after Joe, who we left on the other side of the planet. So we birthed the 2-bedroom HMS Rip Joe, our trusty vessel for the future. But enough of that. Jacob finally got to play with his new spy penguin, commemorating the occasion with a photo.
What the fuck?
But after that, we continued the mountain of base upgrades, adding a control room, allowing us to colour the base, but that slapped every single cell of power, so we added a new room housing a brand new bioreactor to finalise the main base upgrades for now. Time to head back to the open seas. We boarded the HMS Rip Joe and took off. And I won't waste your time, we drove to the place where we met Alan for the first time, thinking it was a new marker.
Oh, this is the same place, isn't it?
A huge fumble and a waste of a whole day. So we opted to head for another artifact instead. This one giving us slight trouble on the entrance.
I don't know how you're getting down that.
And a rather warm welcome. But once we passed through the thermal fence, we entered the copper mining site, an area with plenty of fragments, no more important than the prawn suit.
Oh, there's a prawn suits down here.
Which we quickly unlocked alongside the plethora of extra blueprints and resources. And after exploring deeper, we also managed to find the artifact, where it gave Alan some time to reflect.
Oh.
The artifact you found contains traces of information suggesting what has become of my people.
But we were mainly happy with the prawn suit drill arm we'd unlocked, so we continued to pillage before navigating our way out.
What the fuck is this?
And setting off back to the home base.
We're free.
As the lure of the prawn suit was too much for us to handle. After parking the Seatruck up, we got to work, and after some gathering, collecting, and synthesizing, Kieran climbed onto the the icy surface of the vehicle bay.
Prawn suit.
And crafted our first prawn suit with a slightly less menacing message compared to the first time, but still a huge moment. He then went about upgrading the base, completing the construction of a moon pool to dock his prawn suit, alongside placing a vehicle upgrade console and a modification station down. So he took off to gather the resources for building them both. Colin was also working alongside him, working on getting us a second sea truck, so we could double our fleet power, with the plan eventually to build a second prawn suit to complete a fleet of 4 vehicles. However, me and Jacob were working on something different at the same time. We were out hunting spiral plants.
What's up, babe?
I'm trying to find this spiral plant.
As we needed clippings from them for the second Sea Truck depth module to explore Alan's next beacon, so we took off in search, scouring the purple vents until we entered a rather blue biome and uncovered the Vent Garden.
Oh, what is that?
An ecosystem within a creature. So I sent Jacob in, well, more like up, and after a quick scan off, he was inside, finding the spiral plant.
Yes, spiral plant.
But he also found something he didn't want to find.
Oh my god, Matt!
He's trying to get you, Jacob.
So after we rather quickly evacuated and returned home, Colin finished crafting his sea truck. Kieran customized his prawn suit and had an unexpected visitor of his own.
Someone come outside? Is anyone up there? Colin?
Yeah.
Can you see the glow whale trapped in our moon pool?
But finalised the modification station, so got to work on some upgrades like the high capacity oxygen tank and thermoblade.
Thermoblade.
I then finalised our fleet by completing the second of the prawn suits, customising it to my liking before taking it for a spin to gather resources. And with the mountain of upgrades we were making, periodically popping over to the modification station to take care of our own upgrades, Colin split the cabins between the 2 sea trucks before giving Kieran the opportunity of a lifetime that he wasn't going to waste.
Are we going to the body and then Marguerite's thing? Now we got this depth module.
I'm just going to get Hopper.
Grab some away if you want.
I'll grab you on the way.
Yeah, I'll smash this photo of your bird in a minute, man.
Come here, let's just sit down at the desk, mate.
Captain, you never tricked me like this before.
After whatever that was, the adventure was calling us once again, but Colin sadly had some chores to get out of the way first. Crafting the 2 depth modules we'd need, and you might be wondering why we've gone for 2 of each vehicle. Well, I had some insider information of a future upgrade that would make long-term voyages very fun. So we were just preparing for that day, and whilst he crafted away, we built laser cutters for future wrecks and prepared ourselves for the voyage. And whilst I was out in my prawn suit thinking of future upgrades, the 3 idiots had one more moronic trick up their sleeves. I'd thought they'd learnt their lessons by now from the Seamoths, but whilst left unsupervised for 2 minutes with 2 sea trucks, there was only one thought that came across their minds.
You wanna play bumper cars?
No.
We fucking got to, haven't we, really?
We got 2 bumps each.
I just say one big boom. Just, you know what I mean? Just, you go one side, I go one side. Jacob refs it. Oh, he's come in.
Go!
Oh, hello. Oh, fuck.
Oh, we're stuck inside each other.
Just gonna hop out and see what this looks like.
Like docking.
Oh my
God.
So after 15 minutes of prying the 2 conjoined sea trucks apart, they finally broke free of each other and we could set off.
I'm making a leap of faith.
Oh, you've done it, you've done it, you've done it!
Yes! What's up, Danger?
And with the new depth limit of 650 meters in both sea trucks, we were heading to our deepest point yet. So after traversing the winding caves, uncovering new plants and biomes along the way, Alan seemed to remember something important about this place in particular.
You came within range of data that might help with the construction of a new storage medium. You must continue to investigate.
Alright, dickhead, what do you think we're doing, yeah? Fucking hell.
Bro just hit the sat-nav and said, at the roundabout, hit the 3rd exit.
Strongly sense my
Shut up, fucking stupid cunt.
Component is near. Robin, I have something important to share.
Another artifact.
Yes, although...
You cannot know for sure what it is, but it is certainly of significant import. I know.
And when we headed inside, it was clear why.
Hey, yo.
So much scannable shit.
This skeleton is fully dense, able to handle heavy forces. I got framed for my new form.
Are you okay, Alan?
It is not often that I gaze upon the form of a fallen architect.
Is this place another sort of sanctuary? It's peaceful. Beautiful.
As the bacterium spread, the continuation of life became uncertain. This is a place to reflect.
I think I understand.
Finding the recipe for the architect's skeletal structure, the first of 3 body parts to assemble for Alan, but it was very expensive, so we took some commemorative photos whilst planning our next move, and with the recipe secured, we opted to climb into our 2 sea trucks.
Yeah, just fucking drive off in all of them, Matt, you stupid little prick. I'll just get in there. Fuck you.
And set back off. And before stopping up at base, we decided to locate a nearby artifact Alan had alluded to, finding the ground sampler alongside an ion cube for our troubles. So we harvested the nearby clusters of ruby and diamonds for future crafting before an old friend greeted us by the entrance to the cave.
What is that above us? Oh shit! You need to let us in right now. Don't drive away!
Kieran, it's right behind you.
No, it's just a squid shark.
Ah! No, it isn't just a fucking squid shark. We're looking at it. Oh, it is on our rear column. Oh shit! Fucking hell! It's in the ship.
I EMP'd that bitch.
And even if we didn't mean to, the encounter scared Colm and Kieran straight back to the base anyway.
They had him swim back, mate.
Yeah, so come back.
We had him on skates then, mate. I wasn't even worried.
I'll catch you on the flip side, bitch.
While me and Jacob kept scouring the ocean floor, finding some fragments alongside an extra artifact where we found the sea truck docking module, a huge find, as we could now attach the prawn suits to our sea trucks, completing the fleet of 4 vehicles. Now we're almost certainly done that thing we always do, playing the game in a completely wrong order as we've been entirely ignoring the shipwrecks dotted around the map. So it was time to fix that, as we now had the correct equipment to fully loot them. So Colm and Kieran arrived, shortly followed by myself and Jacob, where we got to work, scavenging, finding all sorts, power cells, jukebox songs, but crucially, the first fragment for the parallel processing unit.
Another power cell.
Is that a power cell? No, this is the thing we need for the thing.
Oh, sick.
Which was needed to assist Margaret in overriding the Altera satellite. So after figuring out the wrecks were in fact important, we headed back to the first one we found, and here we were able to find the second and the third fragments for the processing unit, meaning we could now craft the test override module. So we scavenged for anything else useful before returning home to craft some more upgrades. Luckily for us, the processing unit and test override module were relatively cheap to craft, so Jacob crafted them both with ease, but that wasn't the only upgrades we were making. Colm was atop the vehicle bay, crafting the docking station which we hooked up to our sea trucks, alongside a second one Kieran had crafted.
Oh shit, that is sick!
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Which then left me and Kieran to begin upgrading our 2 prawn suits to the max, adding grappling and drill arms, which we of course tested out and they were incredible.
I'm on the glow whale column.
So with all those upgrades done and my poor prawn suit being mistreated by Jacob.
Do not eject the prawn suits, they're fully upgraded.
We were off once again, this time docking at the Delta station, where Jacob climbed atop the satellite and inserted the test override module, allowing Colm to activate the terminal, deactivating the Altera satellite, impressing Alan and, more importantly, Margaret.
Marguerite,
all
what's
right,
up, baby?
Altera, you win this round. Come find me at my greenhouse. I'm about 1 kilometer east of your position up on an iceberg. I have a present for you.
I'll come by if I have time.
So, with our trust now gained a little bit, we scoured the base one more time before heading to the sea trucks, where Jacob somehow gained superpowers for a brief second.
Why did it take me out of the ship?
Pete, stop.
Wait, why am I running?
Guys! Because you're holding the shift key. No! Wait!
What is he doing?
I was just running underwater. Moses, is that you?
Wait!
Really?
God, what are you doing?
Oh my god.
So after he burned out, we made the long 1 kilometer traversal to the approximate location Margaret had given us for her second base. So we landed on the shore, finding another of Alan's artifacts, which was good. But the negative, however, we were on the complete wrong iceberg.
Wait, I'm freezing.
Yeah, I might have to jump off.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, we might actually have to jump off.
So with our temperature dropping awfully quickly, we leapt back into the water, scaling the neighboring iceberg, uncovering Margaret's second base. So we gathered up and entered a bit more politely this time.
Satellite hasn't passed by in a while. I guess that was your doing.
Sam's not the only one in the family who knew what to do with vague directions in old wire.
She was an original, that sister of yours. First time I met her, I was sure she was Altera through and through. Not a crease in her uniform. Sending those damn bird bots to spy everywhere. Then, she surprised me. Maybe a little too much.
Meaning?
If you really want to know, there's a PDA on the bench that can point you in the right direction.
And after learning some more vital information about our sister's disappearance, we once again pillaged and scanned everything in this base. So with some new objectives and knowledge acquired, we decided to bash our combined brain cells together and do something just plain stupid. We swam straight down and kept going until we reached a crack in the ground. The same crack guarded by the same Leviathan that keeps attacking us. So let round 3 commence.
The volcano from earlier.
Oh shit!
Why is it always us that gets caught with it?
Get him!
No shit! Oh.
Use the defense perimeter module.
I got it!
He's right behind it.
I think it's coming for us. Oh shit!
You ain't got a defense mechanism either.
And after once again escaping with only some small cracks in our sea trucks, we luckily returned to base. This time planning a new farm atop one of the nearby Lilipads, so I got to work planning it out. But I was out of materials for now, so I took off in my prawn suit to scour the nearby thermal vent biome for more titanium. And whilst I was on my travels, Kieran and Jacob crafted themselves some swim charge fins. However, the pair of them thought they would be used to go faster while swimming, but they actually just charge your batteries.
No, it charges our stuff, these sick.
Oh, what? These charge up our things?
You think they made you faster as well?
Yeah.
Someone even believed it too.
The worst thing is I was going to say, oh, okay.
No, I'm moving.
Probably would have gaslit himself.
Idiots. Kieran did craft something useful though, creating a jump jet booster for his prawn suit, but before he could, they got distracted and made a headlamp, completely useless and pretty expensive for what it is.
This was so not worth it, man.
I then returned and carried on with my pipe, equipped with plenty of titanium, surfacing on the Lilipad, but I ran out once again, so I put my drill to work and went back to fetch more titanium from the mining site. Colin was also out gathering, but he was encountering our big red friend once again.
I'm getting attacked by a Leviathan, or whatever the fuck this thing is. Oh my god, I'm so scared.
So he did what most captains do. Returned home, sat in his chair and watched his crew do the hard labour. But before long, he had had enough of sitting around. So after Kieran made himself dizzy, spinning around this tree...
Colin, I found like an infinite swing glitch.
Colin recruited him and his prawn suit.
We're going on an adventure, Colin.
Yeah, let's fucking do it.
Before taking off in search of Margaret's old base. Now, Colin could have just followed the old beacon, but his brain doesn't work like that.
Bit of a tight squeeze.
And Kieran was too distracted by the jukebox to notice.
Yeah, it's down here.
As he proceeded to waste 30 minutes swimming in the complete wrong biome.
Have I gone to the complete wrong place?
And after learning what the squid shark can do...
I'm in a scrap with the squid shark. Oh my god, it just fucking EMP'd me.
They continued to search cautiously and search some more, finally finding what they came for, the large room fragment. And as we needed a place to store all of the eggs once we unlocked the alien containment for the extra challenge, they learned some more about Margaret and how she survived the Reaper Leviathan encounter.
A fortnight into our voyage, I was more or less living inside the creature's ribcage.
And made it to this side of the planet. But what I haven't told you this whole time is Colin still couldn't find this place. He had to summon Jacob.
This song's a banger, Jacob. Hop in here. Oh, it stopped.
Yeah, my bad.
Who actually had the brain capacity to follow a simple beacon.
I guess we just got wrong turn.
So whilst I was out still traversing the seafloor, finding more modules for our sea truck and other blueprints, the trio decided to press further down, mainly underneath Margaret's sea base, without a care in the world. They found a crystal cavern and started exploring it until an eerily familiar message greeted them when they pressed a bit too far into the cave system.
Proceed with caution. A Leviathan-class creature is near.
But they ignored it, of course they did.
I know, pussy. Let's go find out what it is.
And after bringing the sea truck into a large open area, it wasn't long before something didn't like how far into the cave they had ventured.
Oh my god!
Oh my
Oh my god.
Oh my god, where did that even come from? Bro, let me in the truck.
Keep driving,
Do not.
So they hauled out of there as quick as they could.
Oh, Column. Oh, back up, Column, go down there.
But they did manage to scavenge some magnetite and a few pieces of kyanite from the cave, which would unlock some more key upgrades to press further into that cave eventually.
That fucker's a bit scary, isn't it?
So they returned home.
Can't see shit. Put it in my mouth.
To craft what we would need. This involved completing Captain's desk finally, adding in the pendulum, triggering another of his classic speeches.
Can't lie, boys, we're doing well so far. New tour's been activated. It's mesmerizing. The challenge is, Jacob, you're gonna be chucked into the pit of despair so we can go scan that big motherfucker.
What the fuck?
Yeah, man.
I want to revolt.
Turn around, Captain's flicking his balls in your face.
Dragging my balls across your chin.
Oh my.
Now ready to sprint through a brick wall, Jacob used his extra motivation to gather the materials needed and craft the third depth module for the sea truck.
The depth module Mark III has been created.
Placing it inside the HMS Rip Joe, as making two of them was out of our reach sadly.
We need two of them, do we not?
I don't have enough kyanite for that unless any of you picked it up.
And after some preparation, including me completing my Lilipad farm area and testing out Jacob's and my own water filtration suits. How do I look?
Oh my god, mate, you look sexy with that white suit.
We gathered in the newly upgraded sea truck, capable of an eye-watering 1,000 meter depth limit.
Do that again and watch what happens to your prawn suit.
And took off in search of the next artifact. What we weren't expecting was the huge landmass we would end up discovering. So we placed down a temporary base in order to prevent us from freezing to death, and then explored further, uncovering a large bridge, but it was lowered, which Alan assured us was the key to discovering more about our sister and also constructing his body.
There is something of significance beyond this bridge. It was important to Altera, but more important to me.
Will it help us build you a body?
I believe so, yes.
So the mission was clear. It was time to explore the area alongside working on a way to get ourselves over the bridge. So let's get to it. We decided to begin exploring the nearby caves, finding more blueprints before discovering the Phi landing pad and heading into the Phi Robotics Center.
Phi Robotics. This is where Sam worked.
Where we found tons of items and blueprints, including the Snowfox hoverpad blueprint.
Hoverpad fragment.
Alongside some others, which will be crucial later down the line. We then swept the place, finding more PDAs of the crew.
There's a PDA there.
That used to inhabit this place, even uncovering a dormant alien teleporter in the room adjacent.
Oh wait, there's a teleporter.
Oh.
And after nearly missing it, did you do the room downstairs?
Downstairs.
We discovered the downstairs room, which turned out to be our sister's room.
Sam loved working here with her spy pinglings.
And in there, we found some PDAs, some posters we stole, and mainly another key blueprint, this time for the cold suit.
Ooh, guys.
Oh, cold suit.
But we needed snowstalker fur for that, which if you'll recall, was that huge animal Margaret had tamed, so that was a chilling premise. We then found a slight hole in the wall.
Oh my god, that fucking icicle just fell.
Small enough for our penguin to fit inside.
There was a bit of magnetite there. Don't mind if I do.
Although it had nothing important, we could now keep an eye out for more of these in the future. So with the first part of the island explored, we opted to return to our sea truck.
Did you just disconnect loads of shit?
Nope. Oh my god.
Stopping off to grab some nearby creepvine, as we were going to need a lot of fibre mesh to fund our cold suit project. And back at base, we decided to also make some adjustments to our sea truck layout. So Kieran grabbed the materials needed and constructed the sea truck fabricator module.
Come duck that baby on.
Where Jacob also crafted the sea truck storage module, so we hooked them all to one sea truck.
I'm coming in from the back, yeah?
Alongside the dock module holding the prawn suit, and our mega sea truck was complete in all of its glory.
Easy does it now.
If it worked.
Oh, it does. We're so up,
shit.
man.
So we all clambered inside and took it for a spin.
Because me, Matt and Colum are going to put you on that bench.
I'm ready.
Stopping back at the kelp forest, where we all individually gathered and crafted the necessary fibre mesh for the cold suits. Kieran also grabbed some gel sacks from the base and combined them with some creepvine cluster to make the hydraulic fluid needed for the bridge repairs. So after placing the Snowfox hoverpad down for the future, when we got the blueprint, we then headed to the bridge, and once inside my prawn suit, I decided to break the game a little bit.
Oh, he's done it! That's fucked.
So the game broke me as a way of returning the favour.
Oh my god!
Holy shit.
How did you go so quick?
What the fuck? What
No,
the
fuck this Alan guy, that's the goat.
And with that experiment out the way, Kieran inserted the hydraulic fluid into the bridge and extended it across, allowing us to pass into the next area. But before crossing, we kept exploring nearby, finding even more blueprints and PDAs stashed around, eventually coming across the next architect artifact.
Whoa.
So we scanned it before continuing to traverse through the caves.
And I blow them ups down.
Eventually finding some ladders leading to another cave. And this cave showed us a true test of brain power.
It's all like red and shit.
We had stumbled upon a snowstalker nest, meaning we could grab the fur to then make the cold suits. However, Kieran and Colin
We just fucking run up on them all. Oh shit, it's chasing me!
decided to immediately kill theirs.
Killed one.
And Jacob tried to until I sat him down.
No, I'm getting murked, bruv.
But luckily, he tried with more grace this time. I think you gotta use the spy penguin.
Well, why don't you tell us that?
Grabbing fur and dropping it off to us piece by piece, grabbing all 16 pieces of fur we'd need. So we decided to stop messing around with our lives and move on. And thank God what we found next was frozen, or we'd 100% be dead.
I sense many things here. Death among them.
What the fuck is that?
Whoa, that's the thing tunneling through the eye.
We entered a new lab where a huge Leviathan was frozen with spores of bacteria all over it, which had to be the tests that were being talked about earlier. So we scanned around, learning we could input an antidote alongside learning our sister had blown up this lab, and that would explain her disappearance after all.
It appears that your sister's death was accompanied by significant destruction.
Doesn't make any sense. She would never destroy a base. Well, baselessly.
So having learned a lot of information at once, alongside finding the Snowfox blueprints on our travels, we returned to our temporary base, where we decided to make some major upgrades. First crafting the snowsuit with the snowstalker fur we had gathered, which didn't exactly match up to how we thought it would look.
Oh, that looks horrible. That's such a bad suit.
And after that, we had expensed all avenues, so had to cross the bridge. And to do that, we'd need a faster vehicle. So thanks to the gathering I'd done, we all crafted and customized our brand new Snowfoxes. Essentially, a jet ski we could use on land, but with a booster on the back.
There you go, babe. Bought you a new bike. That's going in.
Shut up, man. Don't ever do that again. And it will be going in.
We all then got prepared.
The LeBronsicle.
And drove them to the start of the bridge. With the end in sight, this could prove to be a monumental step of the journey. So we took our positions and awaited the captain's signal to go. And with the temperature falling, we shot off across the bridge.
Oh, I beat Matt on the Matt, don't run into me!
And of course, a race began. Except our Snowfoxes were as durable as a piece of paper.
I'll hold that column.
So a lot of pit stops were needed along the way, but we got back on the road soon enough.
Take off column, let's go.
I'm going right.
That's not the way Captain said to go, but okay.
Just in time for something else to say hello to us.
Down the hole we go!
Oh, what is that?
Do not come down the hole.
It went after column.
So all of us scurried away like mice, apart from Kieran at the loss of his life.
Oh my fucking lord.
That is fucking huge.
He's right behind me, isn't he?
I'm in a bad place. It's targeting me. I'm in a bad place. I have no fucking... I'm dead.
So he worked on returning, this time in my prawn suit, which would turn out to be a much easier way of getting around. Sadly, he couldn't rescue his bike in the process, however.
How do you pick it up, the fucking Snowfox?
The back of it, it's just say like package.
Oh shit. Yeah, mine's dead.
But back in the caves, Jacob and Colin activated an alien teleporter.
Oh, Jacob. Look at this. Another chamber.
Oh shit.
Wait, I have an iron cube as well. I'm finna plug this bitch in.
But we're going in.
Yay!
Lunging straight in and popping out at the other one we found earlier. We will proceed to not use this ever again, however, so let's move on. And after some more repairs and close calls, we headed for the sanctuary of another cave entrance, but kept on finding the same dead ends, which was becoming frustrating.
You don't want to go that way.
Until our luck flipped and a force field presented itself. So we scanned what we could and entered the facility, finding the next piece of Alan's body.
An architect component.
The architect tissues, which wasn't too expensive either to craft.
2 rust root pustules, synthetic fibre and gel sacks, we've got all that.
So we moved on with some more hope in the air. We then discovered a recently killed ice worm, so we scanned it whilst checking our shoulders, racing away from a more alive one in the process. But we made it back to the base, deciding we were done with the Snowfox, so decided to test how it would work on the water.
Can we drive these in the water?
I want to try that.
No, I've built a new one just to try it. Oh, they work.
Can you drive it? No way.
I'm like bobbing along. I'm like a fucking floater.
And weirdly enough, it somehow worked. And after awkwardly getting back into the sea truck, we were leaving the island for now. But I'm sure we'd be back. Our return to the base was easy enough, however. So we gifted the captain's desk with an aromatic lamp.
I'm building you something for your desk.
Oh my god. You got me an incense lamp.
And this continued around the base, as Kieran was getting a bit too trigger happy with his habitat builder, building a lot of pointless stuff. I was working on a new power supply for my prawn suit, alongside some base maintenance, whilst Jacob and Colin went out on a little supply run, returning to a sleeping Kieran.
Oh. Baby, what is walking to?
But this supply run meant we could now construct the brand new big room we stole from Margaret, so we worked on finding a new position for it and placed it down. The goal is to place our aquariums in here for the challenge of hatching all eggs, so we then wasted a lot of time placing a glass roof on top, but that was well worth it in my opinion.
It's gonna look so fucking sick.
Oh yeah. Oh
baby.
Oh yeah, baby.
However, we lacked the blueprint for the alien containment alongside Alan's last body part, so we got into the sea truck and took off in search. We decided to head towards the Crystal Caves, which of course led us to getting very lost very quickly, and Colin promptly rage quitted, handing the reins to Jacob.
Have you brought us in that same hole you brought us in before, Colin, when you got lost? Yeah, you have.
What fucking way is it then?
But the pilot's last broadcast.
Yeah, but I couldn't. Alright, Jacob, you do it, because I don't know where the fuck I'm going.
Who managed to steer us carefully back down to Margaret's original sea base, where we were headed deeper once again. Whilst down here, we were attempting to use my sea glide as a map, but that just navigated us into danger almost immediately.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared. You didn't do all.
Oh my god! Oh, shit. Defense mechanism! Wait, scan him, quick!
Scan him, scan him, scan him!
Scan him! No, we didn't get him.
Someone get out and repair.
Fuck that.
But after evading danger, we managed to find the way deeper, thanks to Jacob driving and me navigating, uncovering a large force field, which when dropped, revealed a line of alien pylons in crystals, eventually leading to an alien structure, and right there inside was what we were looking for.
What's that bullshit? I can't get in here. Look at this, Jacob. Look at this.
Wait, what?
Captain can't come in.
The alien organ blueprint, meaning we now had all 3 pieces of Alan's body. All we needed to do was gather, construct, and piece him together, so we weren't out the woods yet.
Bang bang, and you shot me down.
We opted to gather whatever else we could on the way out of the cave, mainly kyanite for premium upgrades, and on our way out, we passed another nearby vent garden, so checked it out before heading to the artifact we were originally looking for.
What's it saying down there, Colin?
Some ion cubes.
No! Finding some nearby fragments and scanning them, and with all other avenues expended,
oh no,
we opted to find the 3rd large wreckage. And luckily for us, this gamble paid off.
We're looking for a
the alien containment.
The circle thing we had last time.
Yeah.
Finding things like the reinforced dive suit, but most importantly, the alien containment unit.
Oh, it's here. I found it.
Let's go.
So we decided to head home and prepare for the future. Kieran and Colin split the workload and decided to hold the pieces for Alan's body in their inventories, as we had no clue where we would be crafting the pieces off his body, so better to save a future trip. And in the large room, we placed down and crafted the 2 alien containment units alongside the hatches to enter them, so we placed whatever eggs we had into the containment.
Not synchronized, wait for the next update.
And all flocked to the vehicles. The plan, Colin and Kieran were heading after 1 egg.
Right, it should be this way.
Leaving me and Jacob to hunt down the other 5. And to no one's surprise, we were finding them at a much faster rate, encountering Leviathans, but making progress all the same.
That's number 2.
Colin and Kieran, however, were struggling to even find the way into their 1 cave.
This isn't the oh, this is the one time I didn't want to go here. This is where we go.
This is Marguerite's calf.
Yeah, fuck's sake, man.
But luckily, they made it into the cave and began scouring it for the 1 egg they needed. The search continued from there, and I'm not gonna waste your time.
Oh my god, this stupid fucking spike trap, man, pissing me off.
Colin and Kieran spent an embarrassing amount of time down in this cave. So much time, in fact, that me and Jacob continued our hot streak.
Oh my lord, Matt, he's coming for me. Matt, help.
Finding every other egg we needed.
I think I found it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I found one.
Awesome.
And returning to the base. Even having enough time to deposit whichever fish we could into the tank, as some weren't compatible with the mod yet, sadly.
Baby sea monkey.
That's pretty cool.
Also having enough time to take a little break, come back, and then still craft multiple tether tools for something a little later. But eventually, they found it.
Found it.
You got it?
Yeah, hopefully I keep it when I die.
In the 1 corner they hadn't searched.
Fuck this stupid fucking... I hate it. I'm gonna kill that fucking egg when it hatches.
Please stay in my inventory. Please stay in my inventory. They didn't stay in my inventory. Alright, I got them.
So returned victorious. It's a shame you couldn't hatch the egg they spent all that time searching for.
Oh, not synchronized yet. Wait for next update.
Yeah, we had that issue.
But we had now collected them all for our extra challenge. So with that out of the way, I constructed the sea truck teleportation module, hooking it up to the spare sea truck we had parked outside the front door of the base, as we had planned to use the tether tool to quickly teleport back as the final descent approached closer and closer. So I tested that it worked, which it did.
Guys, look in there.
I'll help.
Bro just teleported. Where did he teleport to? What the fuck? Oh, in the back of the boat.
And that was one more piece ready to go. We then prepared and grabbed anything else we'd need before boarding the HMS Rip Joe for the final time and taking off. Colin then fought his demons.
You drive, yeah? It's our ship now, bitch.
Yeah, put that in my mouth.
And navigated his way successfully this time to Margaret's home.
Look at that. Took us here first try.
Should we block Margaret's base?
But we weren't heading inside this time, as we were going back to the caverns beneath.
Get those big titties out of my face.
Searching for the Architect artifact located down here on our beacons, which led to an awkward series of events. As I tried to navigate Colin down here using my map, but neither of us really knew where we were going.
Not down there. Go right slightly and go that way. I think left a bit. Yeah, keep going this way.
Why do I hear the fabricator?
Not down there either. Keep going straight.
Shut your eyes. You put this naturally derived oil-based lubricant. Rub a little gel sack on there as well.
It's either right or left. Not down there.
Oh, okay.
I think we go maybe to the right. I think we go right.
Chug the right wall, mate. You'll be there soon.
But eventually, we did pass into a red crystal biome, replacing the purple ones, and with Alan sensing a body part near, we had completely lost track of the artifact marker. But we had found something else hovering above us.
Lick him up, Colin. Lick him up.
So with it making its move, so did we, zapping it.
Oh, you fucked it.
And reaving through the crystal formations, where through nothing but arguing about a map and horrible directions, we had somehow navigated all the way down by accident to the place where we could construct Alan's new body.
This is the fabrication facility where we will construct my next form. We must first locate all the necessary components.
Sorry, Alan, already got it, mate.
The actual goal was about 1,000 meters away, and we had also brought all the stuff to craft his body, if you'll remember. So we headed inside, crafting his first skeleton.
So Alan, you said your people came here in search of a cure?
I was a researcher.
You were a scientist? Like me?
My people regarded my scientific contributions with particular interest.
Followed by his tissues.
Does that mean the bacteria got out on your watch?
This subject is uncomfortable. If you would like to know more, I will ask that you first construct the final component.
And finally, his organs.
This is the last piece. Soon I will be autonomous again.
What will you do with your newfound freedom?
I must return home to make amends.
Amends? For the bacterium? There seems to be a lot you're not telling me.
It is hard for me to find the words. I must collect my thoughts. We have all the necessary components. You may initiate body fabrication sequence from the terminal.
And what we had learned is that Alan was the reason for the Kara bacteria getting out in the first place. So we began the transfer and watched his body be constructed.
Commencing storage medium fabrication. The escape of the bacteria was an accident. I thought my solution was foolproof. I was wrong.
Did you cause the accident?
Yes.
Oh.
Alongside with him finally exiting our minds after all this time.
Commencing data transfer.
Did it work? Are we...
He's aura farming. He's aura farming.
And after dashing 2 meters for no reason...
Oh.
What, the blood clot?
He finally told us what happened with the bacteria.
We noticed that a species of Leviathan young produced an enzyme that is efficient against the bacteria. I thought if we incubated sea dragon eggs, we might expedite their hatching. I was not wrong.
But...
It would appear that sea dragon parents are stronger and more motivated than our facility was rated to handle.
And the bacteria got out, infecting everything.
Now all that was left was to meet him at the gate to leave the planet, but before that we had one more stop planned. So we laid the HMS Ripjo at its final resting place. It had honoured our fallen comrade well, meaning we now had a chance to test our tether tools out, all teleporting home and back to the base. Taking the sea base in for one last time, and I must say, I think we completed the challenge of making a cool base. It could even be better than our last one, but with nothing else left to accomplish, we climbed into the backup sea truck and took off to landmass from earlier, as we had missed something huge regarding our sister, just in time for Kieran to ruin my cinematic end to the story by getting the Snowfox stuck in the sea truck, which is appreciated.
Oh, what just happened?
What the fuck? I accidentally got a Snowfox stuck in the sea truck.
So he ran for a long time, scouring the island and finding the hole mentioned in a PDA. Kieran then sent the penguin in.
You ready?
Alright, put him down.
I dropped an actual penguin.
Ah, you fucking idiot.
No, I did it on purpose. I just thought it was funny.
Okay, I found a chest with a bottle. Oh.
And there it was, the antidote left by our sister, who clearly planned to cure the bacteria once and for all. So it was now on us to finish the mission she had started. And after arriving at the lab entrance ahead of Colin, we decided to try a little prank on him.
You've got the penguin. Can I drive the penguin around?
Yeah, wait, he's coming this way, right?
Which turned out not to work how we wanted it to.
Go, go, go!
Colin, you got any ID, mate? It's not working.
No way!
It's not working.
What did you try and do? Blow it up?
So with the captain foiling the plan, we headed inside. Arriving at the sample, and luckily, Kieran had left the antidote in the penguin, but Jacob was on hand to gather it and place it into the machine, where the Kara bacteria can finally be cured once and for all, which gave us closure for not only the planet as a whole, but completed the mission Sam set out to accomplish before we landed here on planet 4546b.
I believe the antibacterial agent was effective. Without it, the bacteria could have spread. Now it cannot. Your sister's memory will live in you through this gesture.
It feels good. Doing this one last thing for Sam. I feel like I got some closure. I did what I came to do. I found out what really happened to her, and I got to finish her work. I learned a little bit more about the person I've looked up to for, well, my whole life. I wish I'd told her that more.
So with that one last problem out the way, we made our exit.
Yappa, yappa, yappa. Oh, you can't use it, for fuck's sake.
And as you saw, the tether tool didn't work for some reason. I do wonder why. Can't be something to do with the literal Snowfox wedged inside the sea truck. So yes, we did run all the way back. And after a long time, we arrived back.
At least we got one good use out of it.
Learning that the sea truck had just vanished.
Oh wait, the front's gone.
That's the end bit.
It needs one.
Oh god.
Leaving the modules and the bike behind. So I guess in a full circle moment, we were left to swim the last stretch for one last time.
Oh fucking hell.
And after arriving on the shore of the final area, we raided the lab for any blueprints,
There's a snowman.
posters, and any PDAs scattered around. Before we arrived at the alien phase gate facility.
Oh look, he's in there building. What is he building in there?
What is he building in there?
Where we met up with Alan once again.
Are you preparing to leave, Alan?
Yes, there is much to do.
And after he dashed for no reason yet again, we raced through to the portal.
Let me in. Oh shit.
Oh, that's a final boss if I've ever seen one.
Do you still wish to leave with me? Beyond this teleporter, there is no turning back.
Are you kidding? I can't pass up a chance to see where Architect's coming from. Besides, I don't have another ride.
I do not know what we will find there. The others may be sick or angry, if they live at all.
Or you could find peace. Family.
I hope you are right.
Where we stepped through, thinking back to the memories we had made along the way, pausing to say some final words.
I'm glad that Joe's not here.
when we saw the Leviathan, my toes curled up.
That's disgusting.
And once through, we caught Alan staring off into the distance.
Whoa.
Oh shit.
Oh, he's aura farming again, man.
Maybe he had seen something we hadn't, but after a crash course in Architect arm usage, Alan's ship appeared from the ground, and we were ready to take off, but not before we spotted something truly miraculous.
I wonder if Joe's still alive.
Yeah.
What are we looking at?
I thought I saw something way off in the distance, but oh well.
I finally made it. It's taken me so long to get here. Hello, boys? Hello?
Colin left him on the other side of the planet, so.
Yeah, fuck him.
No, you got any regrets about that? No.
Fuck no.
They left me again, haven't they?
But like we had done this whole time, we proceeded to ignore Joe, Captain's orders once again. So we then joined Alan on his ship.
Join me, Robin.
Here we go.
Where he set the thrusters to full, and we took off into the unknown for one last time, completing 100% of Subnautica Below Zero multiplayer.
What will we find when we get there?
If I am the last of my kind, I will experience the sorrow of 10,000 souls beneath.
And if they survived?
With you, I am ready to face whatever awaits.